What up, everyone? Today we're going to go through and rank the schemes for Atlanta. Now, we won't be doing these every week from this point out, but we're going to do it Darlington Throwback Weekend, Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600, maybe the Chicago Street Race, depends on what my schedule looks like then, definitely Championship Week. So let's get into the video. Alright, so the tiers are, we wrapped that poor car already. These are for like the Menard schemes and the schemes that I've seen too many times. I would rather them change. The don't want to see it too often. It's like, I don't really like it, but it's good. Does what it needs to do. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's okay. It's not great, but then there's great. They're good, but there's just something that makes them not Rexy. Now Rexy is going to be the top tier. We'll start with Ross Chastain's number 1. BM Moose Machine. It's great. I like the black and the red. It looks great. Austin Cindric Menard's car. Goes into rewrap that poor car already. Austin Dillon Breaststroke. We're going to throw that into the don't want to see it too often. Not something, I mean, it's definitely different, and he does change it up a lot, but it's something I don't want to see too often. Josh Berry's number 4. It does what it needs to do. I mean, there's some things I don't like about it, and some things I do like about it. Rewrap that poor car already. Kyle Larson. I mean, it was a great scheme. It still is, but I'm just tired of seeing it. Number 6. We're going to put this in does what it needs to do. Again, we saw this a lot last year, maybe 2022 as well. I wasn't really paying attention much in 2022, but it does its job. Number 7 with the Coy LaJoie scheme. Celsius. You know what? I don't want to see it too often. I've seen a lot of Celsius schemes. I'm getting tired of them. Number 8, Cheddar's. It does what it needs to do. I'm not a fan of Cheddar schemes, but I do like that they took off those like crescent roll patterns because that was just something I wasn't interested in. Alright. Number 9, Hooters Machine. We're going to move that to great. It's a great scheme. The yellow is metallic and the orange is metallic from what we've seen. It's going to look great on track. Number 10, Noah Gragson, Black Rifle Coffee, Winchester Ranger Boats, Rexy. This is arguably one of the best schemes this year I've seen. So, at the end of the year, we'll probably see this in the top 10 schemes. 11, it does what it needs to do. Change of pace from the past couple of years. I mean, one thing I don't like is like the drop down purple right by the number. Number 12, Body Armor. You know what? We're going to put it in Rexy. This scheme looks great. Not going to lie. I like the gray and the white. And then the red. Not too many colors, but they're still great. Like a couple of colors that are the same-ish. And then you got one that's not, and it just looks great. High Point. I don't want to see this too often. Alright, so the Casgrol in 29 scheme. It does what it needs to do. It looks great, and I like the chrome wheels. You can't see them in the picture, but it does what it needs to do. We're going to move this Josh Williams scheme up to, it's a great scheme. I like the color, the pattern, nothing too crazy. Just the right amount of yellow, white. It's great. Build Submarine scheme. It will go up to Rexy. This scheme's great. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's great. I like them. I know we see them a lot, but they're just great. You know, the green, the black, the white. It all just goes together. 19 does what it needs to do. It's not super, but it's not terrible. 20, I don't want to see this too often. Y'all change it up ever so slightly every year. The 21, rewrap that poor car already. I know it's historical for that, but it gets kind of boring. The 22, rewrap that poor car. I'm tired of Joey Logano's schemes. Y'all get it. 23, I'm going to put it does what it needs to do. I like the color. It all looks pretty great. I would move it up into Rexy if people wouldn't just yell at me for it, but I mean, that blue is good. I like the blue. I like the black. It's just there's something missing about it. I don't know what. That's why it's not great and it's not Rexy. Anyway, 24, William Byron's Raptor High Heat. It's a great scheme. I like the black and the red. Nothing too crazy. What would keep it from being in Rexy is the odd gradients here and there on the car. You can't see them, but that's what it is. Now we're going to do the 31. I don't want to see this too often. I'm not a fan of the fruit. Like, if it was just blue and white, this would probably be does what it needs to do, but the fruit. And I'm going to put this 34 car and rewrap that poor car. I really don't like the green. You went from green to green. Just still doesn't look great. Georgia Peanuts. It does what it needs to do. It's not terrible, but it's not great. We've seen it before. I'm going to move this 41 to great. I like the gray and the red. And it's all, and again, it's just the right colors. The pattern, it's just great. I'm on the fence about this 42 Family Dollar scheme. If it was white, you know what, I'm going to be nice. Put it in great. The black, the red, it looks good, I guess. Again, this is just a render, so it probably looks worse in the render. The 43, it does what it needs to do. I don't know why I'm not ranking this higher. Xfinity Mobile 45 Tyler Reddick. I don't want to see this too often. It reminds me a lot of the Grimace car. I did not like that car. The Blue Buffalo, it does what it needs to do. I'll be gracious. 48 Alex Bowman. It's a great ally scheme. At the end of the year, it's probably going to be lower, but it's a great scheme. They took out the white and all the weird colors. I think that looks great. Justin Haley. It's a great scheme. I'm going to do that. This is probably the highest Rick Ware Racing we'll ever get on this chart. Wrap that poor call already. Ty Gibbs, I'm talking to you. Monster, y'all need to get more. I know y'all creative with y'all schemes. I know y'all do some creative ones, Tyler Reddick. Just do that with Ty Gibbs, too. City Refuge, it does what it needs to do. It's not great. It's not terrible. But it does what it needs to do. Now, Carson Hocevar scheme right here, it's going up into Rexy. It's black, it's blue, it's got the red number. It looks great. Reminds me of his Premier Security Xfinity car. Then we got the 99. He gets the job done. Does what it needs to do. So that's it. We had 4 in the Rexy tier. We had a lot in the great tier. We had like half the schemes in the does what it needs to be tier. And then we had an equal number in both. The does what it doesn't want. I don't want to see it too often, and the rewrap the poor car already. So that was the video. Thank you for watching.